Good evening and welcome. Please welcome to the stage Pastor Phil Turner of Bethany Baptist Church for the invitation.
Good evening, everyone. Let's bow for prayer. Precious God, our Father, creator of all things, we humble ourselves in your presence, Lord, knowing that we could not have been here tonight without you. We pray that as we prepare our hearts and minds for what we will see and hear, that you will create in us open thoughts, willing hearts and minds. Allow us to see and hear the good news. Enable us to seize opportunities. Remind us of unity. Cause us to understand our time in the world. Help us to be perceptive. Most of all, Lord God, help us to know that we are all here because we have been assigned and appointed by you to be in this place at this time, to be a part of what has been given to us as a challenge, to seize it, to take it with your empowerment. This we pray in the name of our Lord. The people of God said amen.
Please rise and remain standing as veteran Gordy Lane leads us in the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by Chief Custody Deputy Gonzalez performing the national anthem.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose bright stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Vice Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs at Lemoyne College, Father Marina.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for the kind introduction. My name is Joe Marina. I am the provost here at Lemoyne, and the honor falls to me this evening because our president, Dr. Linda Lemura, wanted very much to be here, but she has a terrific excuse. She's in New York City raising money for the college. But she did ask me to convey her welcome and her very best wishes, and of course a special welcome to Ryan McMahon, the class of 2002 of Lemoyne College, a major in political science, and an alumnus whom we're very proud of. Welcome also to former County Executive Mahoney, to Mayor Walsh, and to all of our distinguished. It's now my pleasure to turn the podium over to County Executive McMahon's soccer coach when he was here at Lemoyne, Tom Bogus.
Good evening, everyone. When Steve asked me yesterday if I would come up and introduce Ryan, I was obviously very honored. And then as I started to get bits and pieces of this, how big this was, TV, and how many people were supposed to be here, I started thinking, I'm like, this is Ryan's way of paying me back for all the extra fitness that I gave him when he was a player here for me at Lemoyne. But seriously, I was very honored when I was asked. Ryan played for me here at Lemoyne, obviously. His professional achievements are a great reflection upon Lemoyne and who graduated from Lemoyne and the types of person he stands for. Ryan, since I've known Ryan, Ryan has always had a goal of serving in public office. Actually, when he was on the team, as a student athlete, he was not only a exceptional goalkeeper, but he demonstrated tremendous leadership skills that have undoubtedly helped him throughout his career and now as a county executive. My pleasure to introduce Lemoyne alumnus and county executive Ryan McMahon.
You have a special relationship between a player and a coach, and hearing the national anthem, it made you think about game day. And so a couple years ago, I came back up to the Heights to see our new facility, and I saw Coach, and each year, ever since our team's gone through, the teams get better and better. And Coach comes up to me, he says, hey, Ryan, anytime you want to come back and do some fitness with the team, we're ready for you. And I didn't put that together until I looked at some of the pictures that Coach probably remembered me by. And Coach, maybe I'll take you up on that offer. But it's great being back here at Lemoyne, where really my passion and love for this community was solidified with the traditions of the Jesuits. I want to really thank Deputy Chief Gonzalez for the national anthem. Man, can that guy sing. Where'd he go? There you go, Chief. Good job. I want to thank our veterans. I believe Gordy Lane led us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Gordy, thank you for that, my friend. And Pastor Turner for leading us in the prayer. Thank you very much. I want to welcome all our elected leaders and their representatives. I see John Majori from the governor's office is here. John does a tremendous job advocating for all of upstate New York. John, thank you for being here. We appreciate that. Please give John a round of applause. John was here on important Red Sea business today talking about our story, so the timing fits very well. And we also value our partnership with the governor very much here in Onondaga County, so thank you very much, John. I also want to make you all a promise. There's been 2 people harassing my office for the last few days, making sure we are out of here by the time Syracuse beats North Carolina. That is Legislator Peggy Chase. Where are you, Peggy, over there? I see you over there. Peggy, you're wearing Carolina blue. What's that all about? Okay. And my Chief of Staff, Sue Stanzik, I want to thank there. And I know My predecessor, Joni Mahoney's here too as well. I'm sure she'll be very happy. I promise we will be out of here in time for the game. But I want to welcome our countywide electeds. I know our DA, Bill Fitzpatrick's over here. We have some fun facts for each of you. Don't get nervous. But our DA's budget has been under budget for every year he's been in office. That's 27 budgets. Thank you, Bill Fitzpatrick. Our county clerk, Lisa Dow, we estimate Lisa's revenues will outweigh her expenses in her 2018 budget by over $1 million. Great job, Lisa. Sheriff Chief Conway couldn't be here tonight, but he has come in under budget every year since he's been elected. We want to thank him and his team for their leadership. I know I see his team here today, so thank you, Gene. So, in our newest countywide official, Matt Beednow, replaced the senator formerly known as Comptroller Antonacci, and he was a big baseball fan. And Bob had a tendency to kind of miss the strike zone a lot with his audits. We know Matt won't miss the strike zone with his audits. And we also know that Matt Beednow's been in office for about 60 days, 30 to 60 days. He's already saved the taxpayers over $100,000. Job well done, Matt. Before we begin, I want to take a moment to say thank you to the community. Serving as your county executive is truly a humbling experience. It is also a privilege and a responsibility I do not take lightly. Every day, my team and I have the opportunity to make a difference in the very community we all call home. And we work together, and we work every day to make it a better place to live and raise a family. Thank you again to my partners in the county legislature. I also want to take a moment and to thank my wife, Kate, and our 3 children. Kate, I owe you so much. We couldn't be here today without you and all your sacrifice you've done for our family. I also want to reintroduce our children, my 11-year-old son, Jack, my 9-year-old daughter, Madeline, and my 2-year-old, Andrew. He's doing great so far. So, it's funny. I knew we were doing something right raising these kids around Christmas time when my gift for my 3 children was this wonderful mug. I believe it says, world's greatest county executive. Highly educated children, you see. So, after that, though, every once in a while, sometimes we will have situations where we want them to do homework. Sometimes they need to clean their room. And Jack sure changes things a little bit. At times, I've been called the world's most average county executive. The world's okayest county executive. And I thought I heard him say, maybe, the world's lamest county executive. Jack, I love you. You're doing great, bud. Lastly, I'd be remiss if I didn't take a minute to wish my friend Monica Williams all the best as she finishes off her final year in the county legislature. Monica is a passionate, caring, and dedicated leader who undoubtedly made her community a much better place. Monica, thank you for your service to Onondaga County and your friendship to me. I appreciate that. So now for my first state of the county. Mr. Chairman, members of the legislature, I stand here to tell you the state of our county is strong and through the spirit of partnership and collaboration getting stronger every day. Over the last 100 days, we have witnessed the power of collaboration. We've seen what is possible, and we can realize our true potential as a community, as a county, and a region when we work together. Now, before we look forward to our vision and outline our priorities for 2019, let's recap how we ended the 2018 year. I'm pleased to report that as we close our books, we ended 2018 spending $8 million less than we budgeted, and due to smart investments and a rebounding economy, sales tax growth exceeded our expectations. When we reconcile out our books, this means we will not need to use the $5 million we had budgeted out of our fund balance in 2018's budget. The even better news is I'm pleased to report that we are ending the 2018 year with a $5.7 million surplus. These $5.7 million will be added to our reserve account, and this will put our reserve account at $71 million. This is greater than the 10% legislative fund balance goal you set forth. This is is an important milestone for us, as we have weathered the storm of stagnant growth while at the same time cutting property taxes to an all-time low tax rate of $5.04 per thousand. Not many governments can say they have cut property taxes for at least 8 straight years. In Onondaga County, we can. This is worth clapping for. In 2018, we hosted the U.S. Bowling Conference at our on-center complex. It is important to note that this conference was secured in 2012 through a partnership with the county, SMG, and Visit Syracuse. To win this conference, we have invested $4 million. This was an investment, where 6 years later we hosted thousands of visitors, room occupancy rates soared, local businesses saw increased demand, and our sales tax receipts skyrocketed. This conference generated a $65 million economic impact in Onondaga County. The lesson here is, at times, we need to invest in ourselves, our people, and our infrastructure, and success will come. I'm pleased to report that the Aqua Metropolitan Water Board consolidation has resulted in a $1 million savings, and this savings has been passed on and reinvested into Aqua's capital program. This action has saved the ratepayers real money. We are very proud of our snowplow agreement with our towns, and I'm happy to report that due to the diligence of our Deputy County Executive Brian Donnelly and Chairman Dave Knapp, we were able to secure a winter severity factor payment from the state DOT for 2015, 16, and 17. This meant we were able to pass on nearly $5 million worth of payments to our towns. I'm very happy to report that every town supervisor cashed their checks the day they received it. Did I see Carol Marsh there? I'm also pleased to report that due to our excellent credit rating, we will be refinancing $20 million worth of bonds. This refinance will save the taxpayers $1.2 million over the next 10 years. 2019 also got off to a roaring start as the city and county agreed to a historic sales tax sharing agreement. This agreement has set the framework for fiscal stability for both governments. But just as important as the substance of this agreement was the collaborative approach by everyone. I want to thank my friend, Mayor Ben Walsh, for his leadership and his friendship. I also want to thank the entire county legislature and the Common Council. Your leadership on this issue has set the stage for growth and future collaboration. Job well done. Not to be outdone, the county and our villages have extended our village improvement program for another 10 years. This agreement recognizes our villages as small cities and the heart of their respective towns. This agreement will help our villages meet their needs and keep property taxes low. I want to thank our village mayors and our county legislature for getting the job done. Over these last 4 months, we have built important partnerships. I've focused much of my time on engaging with our workforce. From our senior staff to our department heads to all levels of management, our bargaining units, and every last employee. The work you do every day is amazing. You inspire me every day, and I'm so proud to be your county executive. We've experienced so much success together. Let me highlight a couple of examples. Earlier this month through the Healthcare Coalition, we announced a change to make certain prescription drugs more affordable to our workforce. At the same time, it will save $1 million a year for our county taxpayers. We've also announced the formation of 2 new bargaining units, the Onondaga Corrections Captains Association, that's a mouthful, and the CSEA Correction Officers Unit. I want to thank CSEA President Dan Vidal and his team for their partnership and leadership on these issues. We've also come to a 3-year labor agreement with our Onondaga County Sheriff's Police Association, and we have sent this agreement over to the legislature for your approval. I also had the privilege of giving the Onondaga County Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Award to Deputy Camila Peck. Camila is an impressive public servant, someone that Dr. King would truly be proud of. Thank you to our county workforce for this amazing progress, and I look forward to more progress to come in the rest of 2019. a strong workforce is making sure it is representative of our diverse county at large. Onondaga County has made significant strides in diversifying our workforce and giving employment opportunities to many from underserved populations. No one has done more on this issue than my friend Joni Mahoney. Joni's leadership has led to a more diverse county workforce, which means we have a stronger county workforce. I want to thank Joni for her leadership on this issue. Joni? Our administration will not move backwards on this issue. We're going to continue to set goals for minority hiring. So here it is. I want to see our minority communities representing 20% of our workforce by the year 2022. This number exceeds minority population data, and that is a good thing. We're also going to implement a recruiting strategy in the poorest urban, rural, and suburban zip codes. To implement these goals, I'm asking the legislature to create a new position, Chief Diversity Officer. Our new diversity officer will work to develop best practices to diversify our county workforce and help our other governmental and private sector partners when needed. In 2018, Onondaga County became a Think Differently County. This initiative, spearheaded by my colleague, Dutchess County Executive Mark Molinaro, seeks to promote awareness and inclusion for all our neighbors on the autism spectrum and those with special needs. We need to implement the Think Differently platform into every aspect of county government and the community at large. This is why I'm asking the county legislature to create a deputy commissioner for disability services and supports. The deputy commissioner will work with the legislature and department heads to develop our Think Differently plan, and I'm very excited about our partnership. I'm very excited about our partnerships and services our community services provide to our veterans. With ongoing innovative engagement, our veterans at Syracuse University, at the VA, and Clear Path for Veterans, we believe Onondaga County should be home for our servicemen and women when their service is complete. We have a robust and active veterans community here in Onondaga County, and I see many veterans here this evening. I want to thank you and all our veterans for joining us and for your service to our country. Since my time on the legislature, I've heard the concerns of many of our veterans regarding the costs associated with burials at Veterans Cemetery. This discussion has been robust and led by my friend and Vietnam veteran Gordy Lane. It currently costs a veteran $500 for a plot at our cemetery, an additional $500 for their spouse or eligible dependent. The cost is an unnecessary hardship on our veterans. While we will never be able to fully repay the sacrifice and commitment they have made for us, the least we can do is make their final resting place easy and affordable. It is my honor to announce that with consultation from my advisory group and other members of the veterans community, we will advance legislation to the legislature next month, making burials for veterans, their spouses, and eligible dependents free across the board. Over the last 4 months, we've been immersed in community dialogue. We've met with engaged citizens and stakeholders, and we've conducted 10 official town hall meetings. The substance and participation of these meetings has been remarkable. Our community is engaged and focused on the challenges and opportunities we have in front of us. Something many of you may not know is there is a young woman named Lily Winkleman from Skinny Atlas, who along with her classmates have been on a pursuit to get the woodland frog named official amphibian of New York State. While it's not quite New York State, I was able to sign an executive order declaring the woodland frog the official amphibian of Onondaga County. I wish Lily the best of luck as she continues her pursuit at the state level. Lily is with us here tonight. And Lily, I just want to point out, our state delegation is in row 3, and so is John Majori from Governor Cuomo's office. The very first meeting I took as county executive was with my friend Linda Brown Robinson, the head of our local NAACP. The NAACP partnered with us on a town hall meeting at the Southwest Community Center, where we had a robust and spirited conversation on the future of our county. These conversations, whether in Syracuse, Salina, or Cicero, have helped us engage and form our initiatives so we can be more responsive to you, the taxpayer. Linda often reminds me, we're all in this together. And that statement is so true. And that's how our administration intends on leading. For us to realize our full potential, we need to work together, learn together, experience success together, and even at times experience failure. We've had a community conversation on our largest challenges and opportunities, and through these conversations, we've put forward our PIE agenda. We are challenging our team and the community at large for long, mid, and short-term strategies for success in our three main categories: poverty, infrastructure, and economic development. Success, okay. Success in these three areas means jobs for our constituents, and nothing brings more dignity to an individual than earning a paycheck. The moral challenge of our time is addressing and making substantial gains on the issue of poverty. Poverty is a symptom of the lack of development and opportunity. We need to change this. Poverty is not just an urban issue. While we have unacceptable poverty in our minority communities in the city of Syracuse, we have extreme rural and suburban poverty as well. Our goal is to make poverty a temporary moment in time for someone, not their way of life. As we begin to formulate our community strategy to aggressively tackle this complex, multi-generational issue, we've challenged our team to assess the way we do service delivery, analyzing opportunities and initiatives for us to partner with. We have focused in on 7 main areas: generational poverty, health, housing, early childhood, transportation, workforce development, and education. Generational poverty is real, and this is what the data shows us. Out of 2,804 family assistance cases, 366 of them were women under the age of 25. 100% of these women were on their mother's temporary assistance caseload when they were children. And now in these 366 identified households, there are 603 children ranging from the ages of 0 to 9. Success here changes lives. This is ground zero for generational poverty. We are implementing various programs and initiatives, including Jobs Plus, where there's a dedicated program for 16 to 22-year-olds called HYPE, or Help Young People Excel. This program molds together education, job coaching, and employment preparation. It also includes critical support such as childcare, transportation, and mental health services. Our ongoing efforts with our WIC program provides funds every month to buy healthy foods and provides ideas on preparing healthy meals for our families. WIC can also connect you with other necessary healthcare needs. We are very proud that we opened our newest WIC office at the old No James Market in the heart of our near west side. Under housing, lead poisoning continues to adversely affect too many of our young people. From 2012 to 2017, we did see a 35% decline in elevated blood levels of our children. However, we must remain diligent in our efforts to see complete eradication. Our community has rallied around this issue, and we have seen new partnerships with Green and Healthy Homes and the Community Foundation investing significant resources with home headquarters. In 2018, our county lead program eliminated lead-based paint hazards in 93 homes, including 69 homes in the city of Syracuse. The county lead program took on a new successful partnership with the city of Syracuse, which then secured a new round of funding for our community from our federal government. This influx of capital will allow us to build on our success and drive real outcomes. I want to congratulate Mayor Walsh, Councilor Joe Driscoll, our community development team, and Dr. Gupta and her team for all their efforts. We believe firmly that early childhood is a new and critical component in our poverty strategy. With the help of the legislature and the city, we have over 15,000 children enrolled in the Imagination Library. Over 3,000 clients are served by home visits each year, and 80% of children aged 0 through 5 attend all their well care visits. These efforts, although positive, are not enough, as only 38% of our children are kindergarten ready. These numbers are not acceptable. Onondaga County will partner with the Early Childhood Alliance to improve kindergarten readiness. In 2020, our budget will reflect a significant investment towards this effort. We now know that transportation is a barrier to work for many families in poverty and our working poor. We know as a community that we need to do better, and our second round of AEI funding will look very favorably on innovative transportation solutions like Providence Services' Shuttle to Work program. We know we need partners and we need innovation. Central has been a leader in this space, and we support Central in their request for additional state funding, as 70% of their customers use their services to get to work. 70%. When it comes to public health, the opioid epidemic has hit our community as hard as any other. The menace of this addiction has many victims: the addict, their loved one, friends, co-workers, employers, the community at large. It's tough to talk to anyone in our county that has not been touched by this disease. But I'm happy to report that Onondaga County has been at the forefront of this issue, and our efforts have been working. Our drug task force continues to engage all stakeholders: hospitals, the medical community, educational institutions, community organizations, members of law enforcement, including the U.S. Attorney's Office, and members of the community at large who have been impacted by this epidemic. This collaborative approach, with linkages to care and addiction prevention, has resulted in a sharp decline in deaths in our community. After reaching a peak in 2016, deaths due to opioids have declined 41%. The success of the drug task force is real, but the job is not done. Earlier today, I signed an executive order that optimizes and operationalizes all of the county's resources to continue this fight. The executive order formalizes the work of the drug task force with a designated coordinator devoted full-time to this effort. We will examine all areas of the opioid crisis, including working towards greater access to inpatient and outpatient care, and most importantly, preventative education. We are also very pleased about the recent formation of the Opioid Court. This is another step our law enforcement partners are taking to decriminalize addiction. I want to personally thank District Attorney Bill Fitzpatrick and Judge James Tormey for their work here. This court will save lives, and that is a legacy you both should be very proud of. I was also very pleased to see Judge Rory McMahon as the judge presiding over this court. Our family is no stranger to this epidemic. This is personal, and as a community, we must win this fight. The battleground of the poverty fight will certainly be in the classroom. A strong education is a pathway to a job and a career. We've seen progress over the last few years in the Syracuse City School District graduation rates. And we attribute some of this progress to our mental health and social workers providing full-time behavior and emotional support in the schools. We now have 52 on-site mental health clinics throughout Onondaga County schools, working to address concerns like absenteeism and behavior issues. The feedback from our district partners throughout the county has been tremendous. Here's what an administrator from the Liverpool Elementary School had to say. It's been a pleasure working with Jenny Redmond. She has been a tremendous resource to our students and their families. We are so grateful for the additional support. Jenny is with us tonight. Jenny, are you here? Stand up. Stand up, Jenny. Jenny, thank you for your commitment to our children. You are changing lives. "200 years ago, visionary New Yorkers saw opportunity, took immense risk, improved countless lives, and transformed America. They built the Erie Canal, Today we face dual challenges in Central New York: concentrated poverty and businesses unable to fill jobs that require sophisticated talent. Enter Lemoyne College and the Jesuit spirit that drives its mission. As for a go big or go home idea, Lemoyne developed Erie 21, educating for our rising innovation economy, a new Erie Canal for the 21st century. Erie 21 changes how education and industry interact. It builds pathways from middle school to post-college employment, provides skills our citizens must have to become the workforce local industry so desperately needs. A $2.2 million annual investment will move Syracuse into the front ranks of our information-based economy and simultaneously help eliminate chronic and concentrated poverty while creating a $1.8 billion economic impact over 10 years. I also want to mention the contributions of Onondaga Community College. OCC is a laboratory for workforce innovation. The OCC Advantage program, which launched in 2016, is a college readiness pilot program currently at Solvay, East Syracuse Manoa, Onondaga Central, Jordan Elbridge, and Lafayette High Schools. Students enter the program as high school freshmen. Throughout 4 years of high school, students work towards progressive benchmarks for attendance, grades, community service, and participate in college readiness programs. Upon completion, students earn a full tuition scholarship to OCC for the first semester, with the opportunity to earn scholarships for additional semesters. This program is funded through a fundraising effort led by the OCC Foundation and community volunteers. Thank you, Dr. Crable. This innovation creates pathways to careers and ladders out of poverty. As we prepare for the second round of funding for AEI, the Alliance for Economic Inclusion, I want to thank our partners, and specifically Governor Cuomo and his team. The first round of AEI, a $13.7 million investment that will support 22 projects. The criteria focused on job creation as well as sustainable programming past this funding cycle. We are pleased to have a contract recipient here with us tonight who's starting her own business due to the AEI funding. You may have read recently about Khadija Abdul Qadir. Her story is a compelling story. It's a resilient story. It's an American story. She arrived here from a Somali refugee camp at age 15. She had little education and spoke no English. Today, 10 years later, she speaks 3 languages, will graduate from Syracuse University in May, and her business, Empower Interpretive Services of Central New York, was a recipient of our first round of AEI. There is a great need for interpreters of non-traditional languages. Khadija recognized this, created a business addressing this very need. She now has a scalable business operating translation services in government, medical, and education settings. We can't wait to see her company grow. And Khadija, we are very proud you call Onondaga County home. Khadija, where are you? Another one of our AEI grants that is demonstrating positive results is a partnership between Partners in Learning and Child Care Solutions. With their AEI funding, they are assisting interested community members with the licensure and outfitting of home-based child care. Overcoming these hurdles is often what prevents someone from owning and operating their own business and can be the difference between dependency and self-sufficiency. One such success story is a home-based and licensed child care business called Syracuse Happy House. Established by Jeanette Tejada in Lincorp. Jeanette, this is a quote from Jeanette. "My experience with the AEI was an excellent one. The staff provided me with assistance answering every question I had. I'm very grateful for all the help. Without this program, it would have been very hard for me to get ready to open my family daycare program so quickly." Jeanette is with us tonight. Jeanette, congratulations, and we wish you all the best. Jeanette, stand up. Continue our partnership with Mayor Walsh and the City of Syracuse with our Summer Youth Jobs Program. Work is dignity no matter what your age. This program has been a huge success, and we will work with our partners to make sure it grows in 2019 and more youth get their first work experience. infrastructures, the eye of our pie, we view them as both challenges and opportunities. Opportunities to lead, opportunities for innovation, and opportunities for growth. Our largest infrastructure challenges are those below ground and those impacting our most precious natural resource, our water. Many of our bodies of water have been recently threatened and plagued by harmful algal blooms, or HABs. HABs threaten the natural use of these bodies of water and also the drinking water for the city of Syracuse, Skaneateles, and parts of Elbridge. HABs pose a serious threat to human health. The state of New York has partnered with the town of Skaneateles to create a 9-element plan for the Skaneateles Lake watershed. This grant award for this town is a huge benefit for the region, but funding is not available until the fall of 2019. Onondaga County will step up and front the funding to get the 9-element plan started for the summer of 2019. The sooner the plan is complete, the sooner we can secure the additional funding needed to execute the projects identified in the plan. In addition, I am proposing that we put $100,000 towards the SUNY ESF-led Propel initiative. Propel will use drone and satellite footage to address and deploy advanced mitigation techniques to combat HABs in Skaneateles Lake. This initiative brings emerging technology partners, New Air, Airbus, and SRC to the table to address our infrastructure challenges. I want to thank Dr. Neil Murphy and SUNY ESF for the Propel initiative, and we view this as seed funding in hopes our partners at New York State come through with more substantial funding. I also want to thank legislator Julie Abbott Keenan for her advocacy of Skaneateles and Atisco Lakes. Thank you, Julie. Our wastewater system presents an immediate challenge which requires all hands on deck. Our wastewater treatment facilities are under severe I&I pressure. You see, when old, leaky infrastructure fails, clean water finds its way into our wastewater system. We then treat more water per day than our regulators allow, which can result in discharges of untreated water into the environment. As stewards of the environment, this is not acceptable. These aging pipes also wreak havoc on neighborhoods with sewage backups. Compounding the problem, the same leaky, aging infrastructure is not owned by the county. It's owned by our friends in the city, the towns, and villages. So we either make multi-million-dollar investments in new tanks every decade for this clean water infiltration, or we can fix the pipes. When the wastewater treatment facilities lose capacity, this also stops growth. Neighborhoods can't grow, employers can't locate in Onondaga County, and the businesses here in the county cannot expand. This is our reality, and now is the time to act. If we modernize the infrastructure, we can stabilize and grow neighborhoods, recruit new businesses, and grow those already here. So we can either fix the pipes once for the next 100 years, or make continuous upgrades in our facilities multiple times over the next 100 years. I'm proposing we consolidate the ownership of our infrastructure in our wastewater sewer system, starting with the Meadowbrook Limestone Sanitary District. You can clap at that. I'm pleased to announce that Mayors Olson and Worrell, as well as Supervisors Theobald, Marsh, and Mikolenko, have all signed memorandums of understanding. We will work together with our legislative bodies towards this consolidation in 2019. I want to thank Legislator Holmquist, who helped us put these MOUs together, and our WEP team for your work. Our WEP team is taking our message on the road and will be doing educational public presentations on the wastewater challenge before us and why our vision is the most cost-effective and environmentally friendly proposal. Folks, let's fix the pipes and grow our region. Let's make history. I also want to talk and touch base on the City of Syracuse's new tech infrastructure investment in their street lighting grid. This tech investment will use state-of-the-art technology and data collection to help drive opportunity throughout the city. You've likely heard the term smart cities before. In Mayor Walsh's ambitious Syracuse Surge plan, the city of Syracuse is named as New York State's flagship smart city. Smart cities generally use data and information collected in a variety of ways, including through sensors to manage operations and make them more efficient. Onondaga County, too, can benefit from this type of information. Through the Syracuse Surge, I'm excited for this community to become a smart region. For the county, better monitoring of the sewer system before a storm could save millions of dollars. Real-time data on air quality paired with health data about asthma could help the health department improve outcomes for children in specific neighborhoods. The smart region isn't limited to government either. By pushing the boundaries of how we collect, share, and understand information, economic development in the county can flourish. We are already a leader in sensing technology and unmanned aerial systems. A push to be a smart region will attract new businesses, grow existing ones, and give information to everyone about how to improve day-to-day operations. We applaud our city partners for this investment as it makes all of Onondaga County stronger. When it comes to our entertainment infrastructure, we have made significant investments, and they are starting to pay off. Last season at the St. Joseph's Health Amphitheater at Lakeview, over 260,000 tickets were sold, creating a multi-million-dollar economic impact for Onondaga County. The amphitheater ended the fiscal year with a net profit of nearly $350,000. The even better news is that the United Nations gaming exclusivity payments, which cover the bond payments on the amphitheater, came in at $3.4 million. And our 2018 bond payment on the amphitheater was only $3 million. So the additional $400,000 difference dropped to the debt stabilization fund created for this project. This fund was the brainchild of Majority Leader Brian May, and now has over $2 million in it. Thank you, Majority Leader Brian May. (2018) also saw the renovation of the War Memorial with a new scoreboard, suites, and marquees which light up the Convention Center district. There is no better venue in the AHL to see a hockey game, and these investments have let us do so much more with this building. I've directed SMG to make a prime focus in 2019 to aggressively market the War Memorial for concerts. Not all musicians play at amphitheaters, and between the War Memorial and the St. Joseph's Health Amphitheater at Lakeview, Onondaga County can be the capital for live entertainment in New York State. As you can now see, our infrastructure drives economic development. So do our people, which brings us to the E of our pie. Our planning department, community development, and our economic development teams all play critical roles in driving progress and growth. To help foster this growth, we're going to put all these departments in the same space. You might ask yourself, where? How about here, the Carnegie Building? This classic deserves a rebirth, a new chapter, and we're going to do it. In addition, we have offered to have the City Department of Neighborhood and Business Development move into the Carnegie Building. Having all of our economic development agencies under one roof sends two very important messages. One, the city and county are on the same page. And two, we are open for business. I thought that was kind of a nice slide. Site development is a key component to our economic development strategy. We've been aggressive and will continue to identify parcels throughout the county with environmental challenges that we can redevelop. There's no better example of this than the Roth Steel site. This site on the shore of Onondaga Lake was set to be a pick and pull scrapyard. This was unacceptable. So in 2015, our IDA stepped in and took ownership of this property. We've invested nearly $2 million in remediation and demolition on this site. These 24 acres now have a bright future. Part of the site will be for the Loop the Lake Trail, and the other 10 to 13 acres will have a private sector use. We hope to have an announcement later this year on what this use might be. Our White Pine Business Park is some of the most attractive infrastructure in the country. Yes, the country. With one of the largest national grid substations next door, high-tech manufacturing is a real possibility. Recently, RIVA, National Grid, and ESD collectively invested $1.6 million so that the necessary utility designs can be done. This effort means the site is truly on the verge of being shovel-ready for a high-tech end user. Later this month, I will be pitching White Pine directly to the world's leading site selectors at a conference in Salt Lake City. Another site that we've been working on is the Sirocco site in Van Buren. This abandoned site has a proud history, but has fallen into disrepair and owes back taxes. It is also next to the newly built Telsey Plastic location. It's an eyesore for the town and for Telsey Plastics, and I'm proud to announce tonight this is going to change. Onondaga County's partnered with Jim Rinaldi, who will be buying the property, investing $6 million into the facility. The even better news is that 50 new jobs will be created with this investment, as the site will be used for warehousing and distribution by multiple companies. Our villages are small cities, and many of our villages are seeing reinvestment in their Main Street business corridors. Projects like Willowbrook Crossing in the village of Manlius will transform underutilized property into a $21 million mixed-use project. We need to foster and encourage this type of investment. That is why I'm proposing we use $1.5 million for a Main Street program that will be awarded to applicants through a competitive process. Our planning department has also been engaging our town partners on developing town centers and hamlets. I'm proposing we use $250,000 for planning and development grants for town centers and hamlets in our towns. Central New York, like hundreds of other communities, went through the application process to try to locate Amazon's second headquarters right here in Onondaga County. There are many lessons to learn from this exercise, as well as from Amazon abandoning the Long Island City project. The first lesson, that you must have a local climate that is business friendly. Secondly, you need to have an able workforce with the proper skill set to compete for these types of technology jobs. We have a generational opportunity to be a partner with the City of Syracuse, the Syracuse City School Districts, OCM BOCES in New York State, and a county-wide STEAM school. This school at our historic Central High School in downtown would offer specific technical training to both urban and suburban students. Our companies need qualified candidates and are struggling to hire in the STEAM space. Companies like SRC, Saab, Lockheed Martin, Anoran, Hillron, and Inficon are all hiring. If we want these companies to grow and expand here, we need to do our part and help provide the workforce. Chairman Knapp, leaders Irvin and May, we can lead the state and become the first countywide STEAM school, which will be the laboratory for the new economy. Our kids will have the skills they need to succeed, and our local economy will grow. We will be able to compete with the next technology jobs opportunity, not watch it happen somewhere else. I know you will help get the job done, and I want to thank you for that. For years, we have struggled with the relative lack of investment in the southern end of downtown. Even while other parts of our city and county were experiencing a renaissance of new investment, the areas surrounding our Civic Center, Convention Center, and War Memorial remain challenged. That all changed with a powerful partnership. The city, the county, New York State led by Governor Cuomo, and visionary county resident Ed Riley came together to save the Hotel Syracuse from the wrecking ball. Now it has been restored to its full majesty as the Marriott Downtown Syracuse. Since the renovation was completed, a new energy and vitality has swept over the neighborhood. Onondaga County has completed a major renovation of the Central Library. We attracted SUNY Upstate Medical and 400 jobs into our space at the galleries. TCG Player, one of the region's most dynamic and fastest growing companies, has captured the imagination of a new generation of technology workers with their fantastical workspace on Warren Street. and the Allen Family Foundation has announced a $22 million new construction project on a vacant parking lot on South Salina Street. This project will incorporate a food hall style incubator for minority and refugee entrepreneurs, commercial space, and mixed income housing. There is no doubt that the southern end of downtown is not only a new and emerging destination, but it is also at the center of a vision that I share with Mayor Walsh, the Syracuse Surge. At the center of this ambitious agenda to drive development and investment from downtown into the city's south side are a series of investments with transformative potential. Anchoring the Center City Innovation Hub is the Syracuse Tech Garden, which turns 15 later this year. Once a collapsed parking garage, this facility is now the focal point of a growing and dynamic technology ecosystem that is helping to restore Syracuse and Onondaga County to their rightful place as a center for innovation, creativity, and new business development. All along Warren Street, recent Tech Garden graduates, TCG, Spincar, and Ephesus, are filling up vacant commercial real estate, attracting new venture capital and creating hundreds of good-paying technology jobs for our community. With more than 20 programs serving companies at every stage of development, the Tech Garden now comprises 50,000 square feet of space in the AXA Plaza. The Tech Garden has been 100% occupied for more than 5 consecutive years. Demand for the Tech Garden startup services are strong, with an average of 2 companies a week applying to join the facility. Yet the current structure can house less than 25 at any one time. While many of these companies can access programs and services virtually, those that can't miss out on the opportunity for shared learning and experiences as well as creative partnerships that could catalyze their business. This is why I have joined with Mayor Walsh to support an exciting expansion of the Tech Garden facility, a complete refresh of the AXA Plaza, and the creation of a true convention center district. Expansion will reactivate Harrison Street for our visitors and provide a long-sought, winter-friendly physical connection between the Convention Center and the Marriott downtown Syracuse. This expansion must be a priority project for our community. Our past investments in our county facilities in tourism and in our innovation ecosystem are paying huge dividends for our region. It's time that we double down on these growth industries. Let's create a physical anchor point for the Syracuse Surge and drive jobs and investment southward into parts of our county that need our support and investment the most. We are a proud people and we have a proud story. As you can see, this is not a story to run from, but a story we need to embrace. We are a community that faces our challenges and tackles them head on. We are seeing economic growth, and with smart investments in our people and our infrastructure, this will be inclusive economic growth to every community in our county. Through continued partnership and collaboration, we have the potential to drive not just economic growth, but population growth. Folks, there is real momentum in our county. We must continue to drive forward, not look backwards. The opportunity is real. Own it. It's yours. God bless you all. God bless our county. God bless your country.
Oh, no, you are.